Okay, so I just finished making my other video, and I don't know if I'm gonna upload this because it's not the most happy topic in the world, but it's like about depression and things like that because I've been experiencing a little bit recently. I fucking hate admitting it, and I don't know why. Like, I just do. I just don't like admitting that I've got something wrong with me. I just admit it again and it makes me feel weird. Maybe it's because I don't have something wrong with me, but then like my behaviour and actions tells me otherwise. Because maybe it's not about having something wrong with you. Maybe it's just something like your brain's just working a little bit differently. Like I just don't like the idea of having something wrong with me. Because it's not wrong. It's just like different to how other people are experiencing reality and things like that. So yeah. I don't know. It's just like a frustration and obviously it came out through my rants about college and reality and things like that, and I've been having a lot of like realizations and epiphanies about life and yeah, and about like just people like really trying to figure out this world and the people in it. And people are very interesting. Like I've come to find that. Like I have so many different perspectives on people. I understand that this world is created inside my mind because it's completely subjective. My experience is always changing. It can't be an objective thing because it's not changing for everyone else in the same way it's changing for me. Yeah, it's changing for everyone, but not in the same way. If it was changing the same way for everyone, then everyone would have good days on exactly the same day, and everyone would have bad days on exactly the same day, but that doesn't happen. Maybe when you're having a bad day, you perceive everyone else around you to be having a bad day because you're making you're projecting a part of yourself onto the external reality around you. I'm really interested in psychology at the minute. I've been watching a lot of videos about like Jungian psychology and not so much about Freud. Like I know he did the Oedipus complex. Is that what it's called? Oedipus. That's it. Oedipus complex, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. But I haven't looked into it enough to have like, I guess, an opinion. But one thing I do know is I don't have a sexual attraction towards my father. So maybe that was just something in Freud's brain. Like Freud was just like he experienced this sexual attraction towards his mother and he could remember it, but he obviously, well, he didn't want to think he was weird, so like he just assumed maybe everyone else feels this too, or maybe he was doing psychoanalysis and a couple of his clients like resonated with that by saying, well, maybe they didn't resonate, but maybe he resonated with them when they brought up this issue, and he was like, maybe everyone has this problem, but if it's really a problem, but I guess yeah, I don't really feel sexual attraction to my parents, so yeah, that's it. I don't at all. Yeah, Jungian psychology is good, and another guy, begins with an N. I could probably spell it, but I don't know if I could say it. Nietzsche. 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 I don't know. I don't even know if I spelled it right. That's just how I saw it in my head. Yeah, he's a pretty interesting guy as well. He came before Freud and Jung, so yeah. And he talks about some cool things about like us having an inner animal and we're trying to suppress it. And yeah, but this guy, I think a lot of people discredited his work because he was like, in the end, he ended up being like freaking crazy. But I guess his argument for that was like his work, like it was like a key to unlocking the mind, but so the key that fits into his mind to like sort of like unlock what's going on in his head does not fit everyone's mind. So like I guess that was pretty edgy. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what he says, but I was like, whoa, oh, my phone's gonna die. No, it's okay. Okay, Jung. He talks about our shadow, doesn't he? He talks about the subconscious and how our shadow isn't necessarily all bad things. It's just things that we suppress in ourselves and put into the back of our mind. Like maybe it could be like creative urges, or it could be anything like that. I guess it could be sexual urges like lust and libido and all that stuff. And yeah, or maybe parts of our personality that we don't like and we don't want to identify with ourselves. Or the ego doesn't want it to identify these negative parts with itself. Perhaps I should say. Yeah, I'm really not educated enough to actually talk about this sort of stuff, but you know, I'm trying to learn it. I think by trying to teach it to someone else, it's a good way to learn it. I don't know how long I've been doing that, but I've just became aware of it. Probably not too long then. Yeah. So psychology is freaking interesting. Because the reason it's interesting to me is because we're experiencing it. Like no matter who you are, you're like experiencing psychology. Just because if you have a brain, you're a part of it. And yeah, I like having a conscious awareness about what's going on in my head. And like even like some of the biggest psychologists out there, they don't have the answers, and I don't have the answers. But I think it's nice to like search and like speculate and just try and learn as much as possible. Yeah. Yeah, I had to do an exam. Well, I had to redo an exam the other day at college because basically throughout the holidays, as you probably know, I was I don't know if I've already made a video about this. Probably have, but you know, um I was like rebelling against the education system by not revising because I was like, I don't need exams, I don't need grades, I don't need all this stuff. But it can be helpful, can't it? Because this is the way the system is. Like I can't change that, and whether I get frustrated about it or not, it's still going to be this way. And so I might as well just like try and fit into it as much as I possibly can without obviously losing my authenticity, whatever that means, if we do have an authenticity or not. But yeah, so basically I'm gonna try and get my A levels, just maybe to prove to myself that I can do it. Um, yeah, but I do struggle with exams. I'm not gonna lie, because I had to redo it on Thursday when everyone else had a day off college, but I had to go in and sit with the teachers. I spent the morning revising, and yeah, and then pretty much just before I started, I was going to ask the teacher for like help, but she was like marking, and I don't know, I don't think she was in a very good mood, and she's like, I'm not helping you, Steph, and I was like, okay, like it's just the way she said it. I was like, you bitch. But I didn't say that obviously. I just thought it, and then I was like, oh, I was getting fucking frustrated with her. And so I was sat in the classroom by myself in this other teacher's room, and yeah, I hate being like, I don't know, I hate being like feeling undermined, like when people like talk down to you just because they think they're better than you or something, or because they've got a little bit of authority over you. I really don't like being told what to do. Like to an extent. Like I don't know. I don't mind if someone's trying to help me and stuff like that. But you know, when they're just being rude about it, not having it. Yeah. So anyway, I went back in the room and I was like trying to do the exam. And I was just like in a proper bad mood anyway. I got out the wrong side of bed. Yeah, and I was just like sort of like had a little mental breakdown thing. And yeah. And then the faculty manager person, who's also my philosophy teacher, that was the person whose room I was sitting in to do the exam. It was my sociology exam, and yeah, she talked to me for a little bit, and I was just there like talking about how life's pointless and all this stuff, and yeah, just like I don't know, I just fucking felt like killing myself because because I couldn't see any like point to life. I couldn't see like the future. I couldn't see myself going anywhere in this society. and she just like said some things to me that I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like the system is the way it is, and this isn't particularly the worst it's ever been, because in the past they had to learn Latin apparently, and they never end up using that in their life. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to conform maybe a little bit more than I do. Like I've actually been doing some revision, like, because to be honest, like even though I sometimes perceive college as a conveyor belt sort of lifestyle where I'm just like on it with the rest of the people, just like conditioning, 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 and then I come out of the other side like a reformed adult, like I will obey whatever you tell me to do. I don't know what the weird accent was for, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So I'm playing with this thing, by the way. It feels nice. Yeah. So basically, I'm not like I could just perceive it as being on this conveyor belt lifestyle where I'm just being conditioned into something that I'm not, or I could perceive it in a way that I can learn along the way, like educate myself and yeah, expand my knowledge and yeah, just actually get some results from it. Oh my god. It looks kind of like a vagina now. Oh, so immature. Anyway, yeah, so I've been learning about Augustine and what I haven't actually started. I've been doing about his life, that's what I've been revising, which is completely irrelevant, but it's like, it's interesting stuff to know, I guess. Yeah. Okay, well, I think I'm going to end off that video there. If you've enjoyed watching, then leave a like, yeah, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, bye!